Hello guys, I know it's been a while and summer's almost over, so I wanted to start trying to get back on track, and today we're going to be doing a city update video. I'm not updating this city just yet, but I do want to point out that I do have a few projects planned to place throughout this display. Just to show you a few things I kind of have sitting off to the side, I am going to be placing power poles throughout the display. I've also started working on this grain silo and some of the other parts for assembly. And I even have one factory started. This is just the rough structure. I do still need to put some stuff on the inside of it, but more on that later. What I'm most excited about is taking these tables that I have here and getting them moved around, because I'm tired of seeing all these big buildings that I have kind of sitting around the barn, and I've never used them in any type of build display. So what I finally have decided to do is I'm going to take everything, move it out of the way, rearrange my tables, and now I'm going to be building a large display here in the center of my barn. So here's what I've done so far. I've gotten all the buildings up and off the floor and up onto the table. I'm probably going to be removing both the Avengers Tower and what a lot of people refer to as the Twin Towers from the background. Still not 100% sure on that, but these three buildings down here, my Ivy Towers, the Neapolitan, and the shops, I want to make them have a display that looks like it's at the beach. I always felt these three buildings had a real beachy feel, and that's why I decided to kind of rearrange the table, get them all lined up in a row, and I have all this frontage, which is going to be two 48 by 48 base plates in depth, and then it's going to be a total of 6 48 by 48 base plates in width, to work out installing a road, and I want to do a very long beach area. I want water, beach, and then the street, and then I want to have the buildings. All these buildings that will be putting up on the table for the display, I do fully intend on finishing the interiors. Currently, I know the Neapolitan has nothing on the inside, so it's a very bare looking building. But I am going to make that change because I do want to light this up. And in order to light it up and make it look right, I am going to be putting interiors inside of that. This building already has interiors. That is just a hotel, and it even already has lights. But now this one, I only have, I think it's the top 4 floors completed with lighting. So I will be adding lighting and other interior details to the bottom half of this before this entire display is finished. As far as the Twin Towers, if I did keep them, I would be adding an elevator shaft, and I would put details inside of them as well. But like I said, I'm still not 100% sure I'm going to be keeping those. But for now, the Avengers Tower is fully finished inside and out, and it does have lights in it. So to me, that's going to be a great filler until I get more time to work on some very large buildings. Down here for the main street that I'm going to put running straight through this entire thing, I am going to be using black brick because I think the black would make it look more like asphalt, and it'll help pop a little more. On top of that, along the street, because I want this to look coastal, what I'm going to be doing is adding a little barrier in the middle of it with palm trees throughout the entire thing. And these are the palm trees I'm going to use. I always loved this particular design. This uses wedge plates. It uses 1x1 modified bricks, and then you can see the top of it. And I just think these are some beautiful looking palm trees. And it's really going to bring everything together and make everything pop once I get it all there. Another thing worth pointing out is the way that I originally tiled all these. I just tiled them up just to give it a finished appearance for the base. But obviously, looking at all these, the tile work really doesn't match well. So all the tile work around all these buildings is going to be getting changed. I've actually even considered ripping the shops themselves out and just putting the dual display of the fountains, or maybe even one big single display for the fountains, and then maybe possibly placing a bunch of palm trees or some other type of vegetation instead of having the stores. I really do love the shops on this, and I think it's a really nice touch. But in order to bring this whole display together, I feel that something needs to change somehow, because just looking at this as a display, if you were, let's say if this was an actual road out here already, when you're looking at this, I mean, why would the sidewalks be different colors and all that kind of thing? So those are little things that kind of bother me. And part of the reason I'm thinking the shops needs to change is, you know, you're not going to come out of one building and start walking along and then see the back of a building. You know what I mean? So there are things that do need to be updated, but I still feel that this is looking really cool just having these here. And the fact that I have the blue backdrop makes it look even better. Now let's give you a bit of a sneak peek at how it looks with everything on the table and with the buildings that I do have illuminated lit up. One of the first things that stands out to me, I really love how much it just lights up, but if you look in between the buildings over there, this is one of the cool things about why I wanted to set this display up back here, because that gives you some backlighting, like there's a lot of stuff going on behind it. And I think that adds a really big deal of depth to this display, because these are some very large buildings, and it's really hard to add a lot of depth to something that's so tall. But with the way this is already done, and having the city upon a city, basically, or the city in front of the city, I really think this is going to make it look even that much more wild. But again, that might be going away. The Avengers Tower, I'm still on the fence. And these might be going away. I kind of like the reflection of the light off them, though. So even if I did take those buildings away, I definitely would be replacing them with something that would be every bit as large as they are. But we'll have to kind of figure out where I'm going as I go. As like a lot of things, I just kind of build as I go and try and figure it out as I go. One of the thoughts I had considered is I do have this black skyscraper, the white skyscraper, and the JV Communications Tower. All of them are a bit shorter than what I have on the table, but I have considered making those three buildings a little bit larger and placing them on the backside, because I thought that might be a good filler as well. But what do you guys think? Do you think it'd be better to just design some brand new buildings, or go ahead and keep using some of my old ones but make them a little larger? Progress on this entire display is going to be slow, but I guarantee you it will be worth the wait, because I'm already excited just thinking about how this is going to look. And what I'm most excited about is the fact that I'm finally going to be using some of these very large buildings in an actual display, because these have never been put on display for anything. One more thing I want to show you guys, if you do not follow me on Instagram, as I do have an Instagram channel as well, I recently finished my daily Bugle building. This thing is 6 feet tall, and it is just extremely detailed. But this is yet another one of the many projects I am currently working on. This entire building is fully modular, and I intend on lighting every bit of this as well. So you can expect to see hopefully a full-length video on just this building at some point in the near future. Anyway, that is all for this video, guys. I hope to start posting videos a little bit more often than I have been doing, because I know it's been a few months. And you can expect to see some updates, whether it be my big city display behind me or the smaller city display behind it, coming very soon. So as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below, and we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks.